Okay, so I pretty much climbed in that box and got everything out. So I'm gonna get to organizing and I'll see you when I'm done. So I had said before that I wanted to give a little bit of my why I do this school supply drive. And I honestly, I started it for no reason other than God laid it on my heart heavily to do it last year and again this year, and it just went so well last year that I was very, very excited to do it this year, and it's doing well again this year. After church today, I let my son help me get all of the donations that were gathered at the church and put them in a room where they were out of the way, because the final day of donations and the day of pickup will be at the church. So there was no point in me moving it all back and forth and back and forth. And he asked me, he said, "Mommy, is all this for me?" And I was like, "No, you're not even going to school. You don't need school supplies." And he said, "Well, is it for my sister?" And I said, "No, we've already bought most of your sister's stuff. We don't need this." I said, "This is for kids whose mommies and daddies work really hard and can't afford to get them everything they need, or it's for kids who have a mommy or daddy who can't work because they're sick, but they still need their stuff for school." And I just explained to him that we do those kinds of things and we help people because that's what Jesus wants us to do. And he explained to me that Jesus wants us to be good to each other, and if we're not, we get spankings and we don't get cookies. So there's a little bit of straightforward kid knowledge for you. Be good to each other or you're not getting cookies. But I do this because it is so easy to get wrapped up in like me, and especially now, and especially in the economy that we're in, and everybody's just broke all the time. Like, I get it. And these teachers on the school supply list, they ask for what seems like, to people who don't understand, it seems like a ridiculous list. And it's 3 boxes of crayons and 13 glue sticks okay. I get that it's frustrating, and I get that we all work for what we have, and it's not fair, because so much about life is fair. It's not fair that we have to buy all these things for these other kids. What's really not fair is that if someone doesn't fill the gaps, these kids go without. And they don't just go without 1 or 2 things, they go without everything, because there are kids whose parents say, "I'm just not buying it. I'm not spending my money." There are kids whose grandparents or aunts or uncles are raising them because their parents refuse to. You don't know people's situations, and it's hard to separate yourself and be like, yeah, this is going to cost me a lot of money to get my kids sent to school, and I don't think they need all of this stuff, but, because there's always a but you're feeling a need for a kid who has family that can't provide that for him, and that doesn't mean that everyone should hand everybody everything. That's not what I'm saying, but you can't take out your frustrations on kids. These kids have no control over the fact that their parents don't work or won't work or can't work, and that they'll have to go without all these things. It's not those kids' fault, and to you, it's not your problem. Expensive stuff, that's where someone like me comes in and says, "I'll just get the community together and we'll do it. We'll fill the gaps. We'll fill the need." If you teach children that their education comes down to a dollar sign and that it's not important, you are setting them up for failure. These teachers spend so much of their own money just turning their classrooms into fun learning environments. And I've spoken with several of my teacher friends, and they spend thousands of dollars. I mean, at a bare minimum, $1,500 every year on supplies alone. That's not including getting their classrooms ready and all the special things they do for the kids throughout the year. And in a small community like I live in, we have some wonderful educators from pre-K up until high school, science teachers and math teachers and coaches. And to watch a community come together to help these teachers out and to help these kids out and teach them that their education is important no matter at whatever cost. It means so much to me to watch people come together to do that. Horrible, and it's easy for us to say, well, it's not my problem, I work for what I have, my kids. Man, we get it, okay? But it's just important to me that as many kids as I can adequately serve before school starts are served. And that's why I work so hard on the school supply drive, and it engulfs me. It engulfs me every time. I get completely sucked up in it. I truly enjoy doing the school supply drive, and it's a blessing to me to gather up all these things that people have asked me for and see the look on their faces when they come to pick it up. And I fill backpacks up and I send them home with new people. And these kids, they get their school year started off right. They go in with confidence. They go in prepared. They don't go in feeling embarrassed. And that's so important to me, that the children in my community and the surrounding communities are adequately prepared to go to school and to get off on the right foot, and that they have everything they need, and they have their confidence, and they don't go in feeling embarrassed because they don't have something. Or it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch kids who come from less fortunate circumstances and see everything they lack and all the things they're not provided. And all it takes is someone who's willing to stand up and say, you know, I'm not going to sit here and watch that happen. And that was me. That is me. I am that person. And it's not just with this. I wrap myself up in so many things. I have so many irons in the fire at all times. But this time of year, my school supply drive is like my main focus. And it's such a blessing to watch these people come and go and collect what they need to send their kids off. And there's people who come and get stuff just for one kid, and there's people who are raising 6 of their grandchildren, and they truly, genuinely need this help, and they would never ask for it. And others have to come to me and say, so-and-so needs this, she's not going to ask you for it. If you gather these things up for me for these handfuls of kids, can I come get it and take it to her? I had a lot of that last year, and I expect there to be more of that this year. And it's just been a blessing to watch people give and selflessly give and give and give. And I can't wait to see how much more happens between now and August 12th. That's the last day, the last official day, because school starts shortly after that. But that's the last official day for donation drop-offs. And I, of course, will not ever stop. If you feel led in December to go spend $100 worth of stuff, baby, bring it to me and I'll take it to the schools. Around income tax time, if you can't help now and that eats you alive, and around income tax time you're like, hey, I'm gonna go spend a couple $100 on school supplies, bring it to me. I've got teacher friends. I can get those things where they need to go. It's just about doing things for the right reasons and that they're coming from the right place, and the time of it doesn't matter. I do what I do now because it's that time of year. School is starting. But if you can't do something now, that doesn't mean you can't do something 6 months from now. For us to get wrapped up in our own problems, and trust me, I get it. But if you find something positive to concentrate on and to work for or work with, it helps lift your spirits so much. And I hate this heat, but I love this time of year. I love getting to reach out to people in the community. I love having people from the community reach out to me, whether it be to help or to receive help. I love it. And it's just, the holidays are the season of giving, but honestly, for me, it never stops for me. But to watch other people, it starts for me around this time of year, because I watch this tiny community come together, and if you feel led to do something, just do it. Go where God calls you. He's not going to send you somewhere that He is not going to cover you and provide for you and make sure that you thrive to fill your purpose that He has given you. So it's Sunday. My kids are at home. I'm pretty sure I just heard them jump off the top of their bunk bed. So, I'm gonna go check on that. But you guys have a blessed week. It'll be Monday by the time you see this. So, yep, there they go.